What if I told you that you could get a 1440p 240Hz gaming monitor with an IPS panel for just $250, or in some cases even cheaper? At local stores, I couldn't find any competitors to this monitor considering the specs and price, so I was curious to try it out for myself. Let me clarify that this monitor was sent to me for a review, but under the conditions that I can say whatever I want about it. And I just want to know what the catch is. Given the price, of course there will be a catch. This is a 24.5-inch monitor from the Titan Army, and that size is for a reason. It's basically the gold standard for eSports, and monitors of this size are used at major tournaments because it's easier to keep all the information in your field of vision. The topic of eSports is close to me, because back in 2012 I was in the top 10 players by MMR among CIS countries in the game called Heroes of New Earth. I played a lot in it and regularly participated in tournaments. If you're curious, this game is based on Dota and came out before Dota 2, so I will look at this monitor as a gamer in the first place. The monitor comes in this box. Inside we can find the power supply, DisplayPort cable, and the monitor itself. The monitor is surprisingly light, and it feels like it's empty inside. And it comes with a stand like this. It doesn't have a height adjustment, but it does have a tilt adjustment. I tried to use it this way, but personally I think it's too low, and if I put box under it, it would be more comfortable. Since I have a monitor arm, I eventually attached it there using a VESA mount. From the ports there are two HDMI, two DisplayPort, and 3.5mm jack, which will be enough for most people. When I turned on for the first time, I was greeted with the Chinese language, but of course it wasn't difficult to find English in the settings. Obviously, the most important question will be about the picture quality and how it will behave in dynamic games. So, this monitor is claimed to have a 178-degree viewing angle, and while technically it's true, at off angles the picture quality takes a noticeable hit. Even when I'm moving my head forward, backward or sideways, I can see that the colors are dimming. And for me personally, it really spoils the experience, especially in dark colors. And I know this is not how a good IPS is supposed to be, because I never had such problems on an IPS ultrawide monitor before. But if I sit directly in front of it, the image holds up decently well. And as soon as I start the game, I immediately stop paying attention to it. Plus all competitive games with light colors, so this problem mostly disappears. In terms of image quality and color accuracy, I'd say it's in the line with the price of the monitor. In competitive gaming, it's not a problem at all, but when watching content or using it as a second monitor, its flaws are noticeable. But I don't want to say that it's bad in general. I have a budget office monitor right next to it, and trust me, it's much worse in terms of image quality. As a nice bonus, you can enable HDR in the settings, and you can also find the adaptive sync option, which I guess works as an AMD FreeSync. So after enabling it, in the NVIDIA control panel I got an option to enable G-Sync to get rid of tearing frames. And it seems like it's working. And I also made some ghosting tests with a slow-mo camera on my phone. I've been using it for over a month now. For 2 weeks I had it as a second monitor, and the rest of the time I used it as my main monitor. I've been playing various competitive games, mostly shooters, because that's where this monitor shines. I heard that after 144Hz the difference is not so noticeable, but for me it's not true. Even after 10 minutes of playing on 240Hz, 144 already seems laggy to me. But of course you need to make sure that your PC can handle such monitor and deliver a stable FPS. So will this monitor make you a better gamer? Possibly. But back in 2012 I managed to keep the lead in the ranked games on this laptop, Asus N52D. This is where I took my nickname from, which was not able to deliver a stable 60 FPS, and the ping in the dorm was about 120. And should I mention that I didn't have an RGB gaming chair? All I'm saying is that it mostly depends on you. Will this monitor give you an advantage? Definitely yes. But in my mind, it's just a tool. And having now all these fancy tools, I do not go further than diamond in the rating, because there's no time and desire to invest in the competitive games as before. But if you have that desire and a limited budget, this monitor can be a good tool to achieve your goals. But at the same time, you will have to accept some of its weak points. So if you're interested in this monitor and want to get one for yourself, I'll leave a link in the description. It's on sale now with a discount. I enjoyed recalling my college days, and if you enjoyed hearing about them, feel free to give this video a like.
Убегает назад, потому что здесь Магнус и Джипер хотят забрать кого-то. Глазиус будет порабощен. Ультует, друзья, Магнус. Ему сбивает отважно полевок ульту, но полевок. Нет маны. Смерть и ненависть в Лас-Вегасе. Полевок заберут. Как? ПК-юзы. О, боже. N52D. Прям под ногой взорвалась Магнус.